Kyojuro, Rengoku. Rengoku wasn't just a Hashira, he was a beacon of unwavering strength and warmth. From the moment he appears in the Mugen Train arc, he radiates a kind of energy that few characters do. He is polite, passionate, and intensely honorable. He eats with joy, encourages others without arrogance, and embodies the ideals of the Demon Slayer core. You immediately trust him, and that's what makes his death so painful. When Akaza, Upper Moon 3, appears on the train, Rengoku doesn't hesitate. He stands up, alone, against an immortal monster. Akaza sees Rengoku's strength and offers him eternal life. A twisted compliment. Become a demon, Akaza says. Train for centuries. Be strong forever. But Rengoku refuses. He says humans grow precisely because they are mortal, and he is proud of being human. The battle is cinematic and savage. Akaza shatters bones, Rengoku's vision blurs, but he never backs down. Even with Akaza's fist buried in his gut, Rengoku holds him in place, using his own body as a cage so Akaza can't escape before the sun rises. And when that sunrise begins to crest, Rengoku doesn't cry or rage. He smiles. He sees his mother, and she tells him he did well. Rengoku's death isn't just a personal loss, it is a seismic shock to the story. Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu, all of them grow stronger because of him. His words, "Set your heart ablaze," echo through the rest of the anime, and even Akaza, despite escaping, leaves shaken. Rengoku's strength, his smile, his acceptance of death, it is haunting, noble, and unforgettable. Shinobu Kocho. Shinobu Kocho is perhaps one of the most misunderstood characters in Demon Slayer. She's small, she's soft-spoken, she's always smiling, but beneath that surface is a woman carved by loss and sharpened by rage. She watched her older sister Kanai die in front of her, killed by Doma, Upper Moon 2, and from that moment on, Shinobu swore vengeance. But Shinobu knew her limits. She lacked the strength to cut off a demon's head, so she trained. Not in brute force, but in toxins. She modified her Nichiren blade. She studied poisons, especially wisteria, and in secret, she began a long, torturous process, dosing herself every day with wisteria extract, turning her entire body into a poisonous weapon. When the day of the reckoning came, she fought Doma with every ounce of grace and calculation. He mocked her, played with her, told her she was weak. She never stopped smiling, never broke, and when he finally absorbed her into his body, Shinobu won. From within, the poison she'd been building up for months began to kill him from the inside. He stumbled, collapsed, and in his fading consciousness he saw Shinobu one last time, triumphant, and it was her plan all along. She died screaming inside his body, in darkness, in pain, but victorious. Her sister avenged, her plan fulfilled. It's one of the most complex, poetic, and horrifying deaths in the series, and it shows that strength isn't always measured by the sword. Muichiro Tokito. Muichiro's story is one of silence and rediscovery. When we meet him, he is cold, distant, almost emotionally numb, a prodigy with no sense of connection, but slowly we learn that his apathy is a survival mechanism, one born from unbearable grief. As a child, he lost his twin brother Yuichiro in a demon attack. That trauma broke him so deeply that he forgot who he was. But in the fight against Kokushibo, the Upper Moon 1, demon and brother of the legendary Yoriichi, Muichiro begins to remember. Piece by piece, the fog lifts. He remembers the promise he made to his brother. He remembers why he fights, and with that clarity, he throws everything into battle. Kokushibo is a monster of impossible skill and power. Muichiro loses an arm, then he stabs through the chest, but he doesn't stop. He triggers his Demon Slayer mark, enhancing his power beyond normal limits. And in the critical moment, bleeding and broken, he uses his body as a human pin, pinning Kokushibo in place with a sword driven through his own torso. It gives his allies the opening they need. In his final moments, He looks up and sees Yuichiro. His brother is there, reaching for him, smiling. Muichiro dies not as a cold prodigy, but as a fulfilled soul, reunited in death. It's peaceful, it's tragic, and it's poetic beyond words. A character who began with numbness, ends with clarity, purpose, and love. Genya Shinazugawa. Genya's death isn't just sad. It's cruelly unfair. He's not a prodigy, he doesn't wield a Nichiren blade like the others, he has no breathing technique. What he has is an indomitable will and a deep aching need to earn the love of his brother Sanemi. That one goal shapes his entire life and ultimately his death. Genya was traumatized from a young age. His mother turned into a demon and slaughtered their family. Sanemi had to kill her, and Genya never forgave him, or himself. They separated emotionally and physically, but that love was still buried deep. Genya joined the Demon Slayer Corps just to be near his brother again, even if Sanemi pushed him away every time. In the final fight against Kokushibo, Upper Moon 1, Genya proves that heart can rival talent. Even when dismembered, bleeding out, his organs falling, he still fights. He uses his rare ability to consume demon flesh and temporarily gain their powers. He is torn apart, but his voice doesn't shake. He stares death in the eye and says, "I'm not done!" As he's dying, he finally hears what he's always wanted. Sanemi calls him by name, holds him, breaks down sobbing. Genya smiles through the pain. "I'm glad I could fight with you." It is too late for reconciliation, and that's what makes it hurt. We don't just mourn Genya. We mourn the years they could have had as brothers, years lost to trauma, pride, and the cruel pace of war. Gyomei Himejima. Gyomei's presence is holy, not just because he's a monk, but because he feels above violence. Blind, soft-spoken, and meditative, he's always praying, even on the battlefield, but when he fights, he becomes a storm, swinging a massive flail and axe connected by chain, obliterating demons with pure, righteous fury. He never wanted to be a warrior. He cared for orphaned children at a temple. But one night, when demons attacked, he did the unthinkable. He crushed one with his bare hands to save the kids. Still, he was blamed, imprisoned, shamed. That trauma shaped the gentle giant we come to admire. In the final battle against Muzan, Gyomei is everywhere. He loses a leg, then an arm. He keeps going. When his flail breaks, he uses the chain. When the chain breaks, he uses his fists. Even blind, even broken, he is relentless. He doesn't scream. He prays for strength, for forgiveness, for peace. As Muzan falls, Gyomei collapses. He sees the children he lost that night, waiting for him in the afterlife. They smile, they forgive him, and only then does he allow himself to rest. His death is quiet, but it leaves a hole in the world. The strongest Hashira didn't die in fury, he died with tears and peace, like a monk finally freed from a lifetime of guilt. Kanae Kocho. Kanae's death isn't shown in real time, but its effects ripple through the entire series. She was the eldest Kocho's sister, kind, graceful, and unwavering in her belief that even demons could change. That belief got her killed. She died at the hands of Doma, the Upper Moon 2, a charming, manipulative monster who smiled as he murdered her. But Kanae didn't scream, she didn't cry, she endured just long enough to whisper one wish to her sister, Shinobu. Don't let hatred consume you. That wish was never fulfilled. Shinobu became everything Kanae wasn't, sharp, sarcastic, quietly furious. Every wisteria flower Shinobu studied, every blade modification, every quiet moment of cruelty, it all stemmed from Kanae's loss. Kanae was the light. Her death made her sister into a blade. Her legacy is subtle, but deeply painful. You don't cry because of what you see, you cry because of what was stolen, a soul who believed in kindness taken by cruelty, a sister's death that split a family in two and reshaped the entire course of the Demon Slayer Corps' future. Tamayo. Tamayo is a demon, but one who rejected the monster within. Turned by Muzan centuries ago, she managed to free herself from his control and for the rest of her long life worked tirelessly to undo the damage demons had done. She saved people, she studied blood, she helped create the medicine that would eventually bring Muzan to his knees. And how was she repaid? Captured by Muzan, tortured for days, taunted, crushed, reduced to pulp, but not before injecting him with a series of deadly poisons designed to weaken him, age him, destabilize him from the inside. She died in agony, surrounded by hatred, but she won. Her poisons slowed him, made him vulnerable, gave the others a chance. Tamayo never raised a sword, but her sacrifice was as heroic as any on the battlefield. She showed that demons could choose humanity, that even those touched by darkness can still create light. Her death doesn't come with epic music or flashy animation, but is one of the most tragic, because it's quiet, and it was a choice, the same kind she made every day for 100 years, to fight evil not with strength, but with science and soul. Which one of these deaths broke you the most? Which one stayed with you long after the screen faded to black? Let us know in the comments below. And if you're ready for more emotional damage, check out our next breakdown, the most shocking betrayals in anime, linked on the screen right now. Until then, breathe deep, stay strong, and subscribe for more anime that hurts so good.